Okay, hi guys, welcome back. And now we're going to move on to the next topic, which is natural selection. So we're doing really well, guys. We're approaching the end of the biology section, and natural selection itself, guys, isn't really a hard topic. So it should be a pretty easy to follow video. So hopefully you guys find it that way, and we can move forward. Okay, so the first question we're going to be going through, guys, is BMAT 2011. And this is question 9, which has to do with natural selection. So here it says, here are 5 statements about natural selection, and got 1 to 5. And it says, which of the above statements are correct? So, guys, give yourself a minute. Remember, BMAT section 2, the timing is really specific. So give yourself a minute, come back, and we shall go through the solution. Okay, guys, so hopefully I had some time to go over that. Let's go through this. And through going through this question, guys, we should really nail down how natural selection works. So, natural selection. So just revisiting concepts back from GCSE, the whole purpose of natural selection is that at the start you have a load of genetic diversity, everyone's different, and then on that you put in a selection pressure. So let's just say, for example, you introduce a new predator, and then that means a load of the people are killed, and only those with the advantageous allele to survive from that predator survive. And then so all of the other ones are gone, and then that basically means that when they reproduce, they're going to pass on these advantageous alleles to their offspring, and therefore the frequency of these advantageous alleles would go up over time. So that's basically the whole idea of natural selection. But remember, guys, this idea of natural selection can explain many different concepts. There's you'll learn stuff in A level, you'll learn stuff at university if you pursue this in a bit more detail. But natural selection is an umbrella term which covers a load of different aspects of evolution. So let's go from what I've told you guys. Let's go through the statements. So individuals within a species show variation. Yep. So that's true even out of natural selection. So individuals within a species, for example, humans, everyone is different, right? So remember, natural selection, guys, can happen on many different levels. So it can happen on the level of a population. So that's just basically within a species, or at the community level, where you're talking about all species in the ecosystem, right? So yeah, that one's true. And then it says individuals within a species compete with each other for, amongst other things, resources, right? That's true, isn't it? So individuals are going to compete with each other, and only the fittest is going to survive from that, right? And that's essentially the idea of survival of the fittest. So that one's true. The next one, individuals with advantageous adaptations are more likely to survive to adulthood. Yeah, advantageous alleles or adaptation. Remember, the alleles, which is genetic level, is going to determine the phenotypic level, which is regarding the adaptations. So this one's also true. And then it says only individuals with adaptations will be able to breed, right? That's not yeah. So that the next one is not necessarily true, because the idea is that only those with the advantageous adaptations would survive, and since those are the only guys that are surviving, they would go on to breed. It doesn't necessarily mean only those with the advantageous alleles, only they are able to breed. The others can also breed. Just that the fact that, are you going to survive or not? So this one can't be it. So that's what I'm saying, guys. You have to be really careful. You have to make sure you're reading the question properly, and it really fits under, the ideas of natural selection. And then the last one, alleles for advantageous adaptations are more likely to be inherited. Yeah, that's true. So those with the advantageous alleles are going to survive, reproduce, and therefore pass on those advantageous alleles to the next generation. So I'm thinking, guys, it's 1, 2, and 5, and therefore that's going to fit in with. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, and 5, and that's going to fit in with C, isn't it? So hopefully, guys, that was easy to follow, and hopefully that makes sense. And be sure to come back to the next question. Okay, guys, so welcome back. So previously we looked at BMAT 2011 question 9. So this question was really good in that it allowed us to revise the key concepts of natural selection. And hopefully, guys, you can see that although natural selection itself is an easy topic, they can sort of create pitfalls for you where you can fall. For example, statement number 4, you have to be really careful when reading it and really seeing if it fits in with the ideas of natural selection. But without further ado, guys, let's move on. BMAT 2010. Now we're going to move on to question 9 in this paper. It says, which of the following correctly completes the statement? During the process of evolution, natural selection will favor individuals with, and then what do you think is the answer there? So, guys, give yourself a minute. This will probably take you faster than a minute, but give yourself a minute. Pause the video, guys, and even if you finished earlier, make sure you resume and we can go through the solution. Okay, guys, so welcome back. So let's go through this. So let's go step by step, guys. So just from what we were saying last time, guys, the thing which should immediately pop into your head is allele. So this one's pretty straightforward that this one's going to be the right answer. But let's let's go through why the other ones are not correct. So, natural selection would favor individual with advantageous gene pool, right? So, gene pool, you wouldn't use it in this context. Gene pool is more to do with, you have a population or a community of people, and the gene pool is basically all the alleles that you have available within that collection, with that population, if you're talking in terms of one species, or in terms of the whole ecosystem, if you're talking at the community level. But this isn't going to be applicable over here. And then it says, naturally will favor those with a high reproductive capacity. No, not necessarily. Even if you have a low reproductive capacity, but the main thing is that you're able to survive the selection pressure. What's the point of having a high reproductive capacity if you can't even survive the selection pressure? So this one can't be it. And then the next one says natural selection favor individuals with a wide geographic distribution. No, so that's not applicable here, isn't it? It's going to favor people based on their, genetic composition, not really based on where they are in the world, right? Generally, you talk about natural selection within a community, not between, like between this part of the world and that part of the world. You're talking about it more of a population community level within the same area. So this one can't be it. And then it says, and yeah, it follows in that the other one's going to be not true as well, because natural selection isn't really concerned with geographical distribution, because you're keeping the geography essentially fixed. It's one area where they have all the same selection processes. Is it the only thing that's differing, if you like, your independent variable is the genes and adaptations you have available to survive those conditions. So hopefully, guys, you can see over here B would be the correct answer. So hopefully, guys, that made sense, and I hope to see you in the next question. All right, guys. So in the previous question, we looked at this question, which was hopefully not too difficult, guys. This really just shows that some questions are really you can do them really rapidly. So this one you probably could do it in less than 30 seconds, and that obviously means that you can save time with the maths and the other physics sections if you're doing the BMAT. Okay, so let's move on to the next one, guys, which is BMAT 2009, question 17. I think this is the last of the natural selection or slash evolution topics question. Really, it doesn't really pop up that many times, but when it does pop up, it's pretty straightforward. As you can see, it's not too difficult, I hope. But guys, if you have any problems, just comment down below or contact me directly. That's perfectly fine, and we can move forward from there. But let's read this one. It says, which of the four statements about natural selections are correct? So pause the video, guys, give yourself a minute, try this question out, and then we shall come back together and look at which one is the correct answer. So guys, welcome back. So let's go through this. So the first one, competition occurs between individuals of the same species. Yeah, that's true. So remember, guys, natural selection depends on how you're defining it. Are you talking about selection within a population, where you're just talking about in one species, where obviously then you would have competition and those with the advantages alleles will survive, or are you talking about natural selection on a broader scale in terms of a community in the whole ecosystem, in that there's many different species and each one of those species has the adaptations maybe to survive in that particular circumstance, right? So it depends how you're defining it, but yeah, both of these can be true. And then selection can lead to evolution. So this one should be pretty evident. Natural selection, you normally tie it in with the theory of evolution, isn't it? And how, how humans have been built up from chimps and etc. etc. If you believe in that sort of thing. And also you have this idea of like you probably would come across in your A-level studies, this idea about speciation, and that how natural selection is involved in essentially you get one species and you can make essentially two different species from the same species through this process of speciation. So that's true. And then the last one, selection can lead to extinction. So that's also true, isn't it? So if you think of it on a broader scale, such as the example in number two, if you have like 5 species and only 2 of them are adapted to live in this surrounding, then 3 of them would obviously become extinct, isn't it? So that's also possible. So all of these options are actually possible, guys. So the answer then would be F, all of the above. So hopefully, guys, and also, guys, just another thing. It says which of the statements are correct. So R, that's a plural, isn't it? So that means more than one of them should be. I guess that's pretty evident from the answers. The minimum number of correct options you can have, as you can see, is for example, 1 and 3. You can only have 2 of them right over there. But hopefully, guys, that has made sense, and that's basically the end of the natural science. So this has been a pretty quick video. Hopefully that has made sense, and if this does come up again, you'll be solid to answer those questions and get full marks there. But guys, I hope to see you in the next series where we'll be covering something a bit different. So see you soon, guys.